woman or this or that. But that's all you can control. It's a legal business. You cannot stop a legal business from coming to your community, even though your community, the majority of people don't want it, because it's a legal business. So our local control aspect of this does give the ability to say yes or no at first when people are coming. Ann Arbor wants 12 provisioning centers. You know, they think that's a good number. They want this. They think it's useful. They want it in their community. And they've asked their law enforcement to stand down and not bother their dispensary centers. It doesn't mean we don't get this passed. State police can't come in and mess with them, because really, right now, a dispensary or provisioning center really isn't in the law, and the MMA, as we know it, the patient-to-patient transfer really didn't hold up in court in the McQueen case. So we do need to pass this. But did I answer your question, or did I just confuse you?
I'm not confused. Just like
previously, some people submitted us the idea that they would like to see local control based on how many can be in your community, as opposed to your community, say, giving the thumbs up or thumbs down, saying that a population of 10,000 can have one. Population, no.
That's, them from being
stacked
so
on top
many
of each other. To each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that when we had like 40 in Lansing or something, I took a bike ride from the front of the Capitol here down Michigan Avenue to Crandor, that shopping center, about 2 miles, and counted like 8 just along one strip. And actually, I was told there were more. It was just hard for me to tell based on the names what they were. Like one was called like the Popcorn Box. I thought it was a popcorn place, but it wasn't.
Different kind of popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn buzz.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So,
have you heard anything about
that I've heard, a little bit of talk on possible amendments is A, labeling. What should be on the label, so that patients, so that police, and looking at it, know what's in the bottle. Okay, that's it. Labeling's one thing. And then there's different ideas with testing, all the way from no testing to very detailed testing. But different groups are pushing different things. The present bill just tests for molds, mildews, and pesticides. Doesn't really test for but then Nick says that all you need is a fluorescent light, for testing.
Well, we talked about that a little bit more before you came here, and Iron Labs came out, and we had a chance to listen to them. And Fitzgerald was here earlier too, and yeah, he's got some pretty crazy ideas too. But
you know what he wants?
Yeah,
he wants to create standards that monopolizes all testing to his lab that he's associated with.
They all want that.
Yeah. Well, everyone was trying to figure out how to cut out everyone else, and I've seen this. If you can create testing, for instance, where you have to test for heavy metals, how many people can do that? Right. And if you have to test for heavy metals, it kind of gives a monopoly to those few labs that can. Are there any in the state that can?
Yes, there are. The
Okay.
equipment that Iron Labs uses, it's a mass spectrometer,
Okay.
and there's different sensors and solutions that you can buy to test for things. I mean, they can, but there's not many.
No, is it Fitzpatrick? He is in some kind of interest in the lab in Colorado. And I'm talking about that. I mean, if you can't move it over state lines for testing and stuff like that. But that's, I think, he's trying to angle in on that. Trying to, through legislation, and using my bill as a vehicle, which I've talked to that Kathleen Graham is always with. I said, this is my bill, and you're gonna.
Bill Zachman had pointed out the fact that, right now we have to be proactive. We got to put out good ideas to get these bills passed, because the Senate's got some issues, and if we can be proactive and get good, honest, non-monopoly orientated suggestions out there, that we can have some impact and could possibly get this signed by the governor before lame duck. But if we can't find consensus, it's going to be hard to get that done. And right now there seems, and this probably happens in other issues, But there's some difference of opinions on how to do that. You got Fitzgerald that's got one testing concept. You got Iron Lab that's got one testing concept. And then you got some people that want no testing altogether. Don't you feel as though that, at the end of the day, bringing, more lobbying power to Lansing to push these bills forward and be looking at many different ideas helps bring, the right ideas to the top?
Yeah, I mean, at times it feels frustrating to me. At times, the medical marijuana community is diverse, and it's like herding cats sometimes. Some of them love my bill. Some of them hate my bill. Some of them like medical marijuana, but not legalization. Some of them like legalization completely, and let's not worry about medical. Some of them don't want legalization, like medical, but want decrim. Different ideas about testing, different ideas, just a lot of different ideas. We are stronger if at the end of the day, we can come together and agree to disagree. Let's see where we can find compromise and bring forth a bill that includes ideas from as many people as possible. That's your strongest bill. But when you get a Fitzpatrick, who we included some of his ideas in the bill, but he wanted it all, because he wanted all the business to go to his lab. So he writes a big op-ed in the Detroit News last week. Did you read it? Shooting down the bill. He would rather see this bill die because he didn't get what he wanted. Supposedly patient safety is, he keeps saying, well, we need patient safety, we need more testing. No, all he's looking for is how he can make some money on this. And it makes me sick when I see him now, because he was at an event at the Historical Museum with the NPRA, where everyone was supportive of the bill, and he's sneaking around in there only a few days later to release this big op-ed in the Detroit News that this bill must go unless, it includes his ideas, whatever those are. That is not coming together and working together to pass this bill. He's going to kill this bill if he keeps it up.
Richardville's office didn't seem like they were taking him very seriously, but I understand the PR thing. I've also heard some, different perspectives, and from other groups that have been working in Lansing in regards to our group, and not been, like we might be slowing down the process like Fitzgerald is, you being in Lansing and seeing what's going on. But, what do you think about the Cannabis Stakeholders Group and what Bill Zagman's bringing to the table?
It's good, and I definitely think it's definitely accelerated, because we kind of were at a standstill for 3 years with just the NPRA. And when you first came and talked to me about the idea of hiring your own lobby firm, and love Kevin McKinney working for the NPRA. He has been a patient, so it gives him a special feeling for the issue, but he is not what you would call the top tier lobby group. It's these multi-lobby groups. This being the biggest one, this being the most powerful one, GCSI, the one with the most resources, the one with the most lobbyists. I've seen them hit the hallway up there, 12 lobbyists at a time working an issue when they're ready to work it. There's only, as I told you, 4 firms like that can turn yeses into no's and no's into yeses, that can actually take control of an issue, and this is the best one. And so my suggestion originally was, if you're going to get a lobbyist, you need to get GCSI. Look at it, they even got facilities. They even got their own bar, the Thai bar. Mm-hmm. Then we happened to see, we were meeting at the fish market, and Ziggy, the Zagman, we call him Ziggy, that's what they call him here, was at the bar and introduced it, and it was, hit it right on. And so now that GCSI has gotten involved, it suddenly has lent. When when legislators see GCSI is involved, they're like, whoa, this is, this is because you have a lot of groups that have like little craft lobbyists, like you have like the nurse or the unregistered, nurse midwives that like to birth. They're not really trained, but they like to birth children, in bathtubs and stuff. And they have a lobbyist, but not a big one, and they never get anywhere. Ever. Year after year after year after year, they don't move it. In fact, that particular lobbyist asked me if any of my medical marijuana fans would hire her. And I was she's not, she does not move the ball. And I've just seen different groups throughout the years where they lose every issue after every issue after every issue. Then I see firms that win every issue after every issue. You will never see Blue Cross lose. Blue Cross does not lose. They've got their own lobby force, because they have so much money. Well, they have actually hired 4 lobby firms.
Yeah. Well, Mike, we've kind of got a problem because now we've got the best lobbyists, and and we're making progress, but yet the people that don't have that, that started this bill are getting, territorial and confrontational and don't seem to want to work together cooperatively to, get these bills passed. How can we, you always bring up this analogy of, the abatement laws, how everyone got brought together. How can we demonstrate to the rest of the community the value that GCSI brings to the table and that they can all be part of it, even if you have another lobbyist, another group, and, things of that nature?
Yeah, I wish, like I said, it never looks good when everyone's apart. I don't like it when if someone wants to talk to me directly on a medical marijuana issue and doesn't want to work through either of the groups. And I'm just like, well, talk to we're letting the lobbyists have it now. And they're like, well, I'm going to talk to Governor Snyder, or I'm going to talk to the senator. And I'm like, I would advise that because we're developing a unified message, and we actually have professional lobbyists, and you should get involved and contribute to those groups. That's where you can help right now. But to directly, and some of these people don't realize it, but they don't have like the kind of social skill. You can't go, and I've watched it, to a senator and say, dude, it's about loving people. You can't do that. And I've seen this. I've actually seen this. And you know what the senator thinks?
Silly hippie.
They come into the legislator's office smelling like marijuana. And in one case, I watched him even pulled out some medical right on the senator's table.
Seen it too.
Well, I don't know. I've got a couple of them that did that. Actually, what's his name? He likes the oil, Simpson peanut butter. Peanut butter comes in.
Shavery.
Yeah. Well, he comes in my office and I'm like, "What's your name?" Didn't want to put the cart with a horse. And let's say to get to the Senate. Not sure of the interaction between the general's office and the governor, because the attorney general does not like this. But the governor doesn't necessarily get along with the attorney general. Especially since, Brian Kelly's a good friend of mine. He's the lieutenant governor. They probably are when Rick Snyder term limits out in 4 years, if he wins this election, they might be going at it, head to head. So you're seeing some friction already developing, relating to that. So I'm not sure. The governor's a real sensible person. Now, I sit down with him and explain. Everyone that will afford me a sit down, and I sit down to explain how this is better, most of them agree that it's better. And Rick Snyder's a pretty logical person, and he's a business person. He's a fiscal conservative, and socially, I think he's moderate in some respects. So. I don't see him as going to a church where you can't dance, drink, or
what about putting his fingerprint on it? What about putting his fingerprint on it in some capacity?
Yeah, you may want to do that.
Will that delay the process, or can that resolve quickly?
That usually gets resolved quickly. We all get in a room, and he's like, well, I don't like this. And I go, okay, change it. And then, usually that works out quickly. Once it's to that point, unless I've seen some things where he just vetoes, because sometimes the legislation comes up with some crazy stuff. And he'll just sit there and go, we are all creatures of the electorate. And people in conservative areas want to look like the most conservative person in the world. And people in liberal areas want to look like the most liberal person in the world. And I kind of don't worry about it. I'm in a very conservative area, but I'm very moderate. And I figured 63% of people voted for this. So 37% of people voted against it. I have an election this fall. Who do I want to hang out with? 63 or 37? I want to win. This last election, people were watching me. I was the canary in the coal mine because I had been all out for this. On TV, on radio, and newspapers, talking about this. We're going to do this. And people just kind of watched me. And I had a three-way race. I ended up winning 59%, 25-5. And people said, wow, he's in a conservative area. He's all out for medical marijuana. And he kicked ass in his election. So I think a lot of people now, were willing to really come out of the closet on medical marijuana after that. Because it's not harmful. So, okay, well, I got to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.